Welcome. Today we're diving deep into a really fascinating chapter from the Yellow Emperor's inner canon. We're going to learn how to listen to those quiet whispers from our body and figure out a crucial question. Are you in a state of deficiency or excess?
Does this sound familiar? That feeling of just being tired all the time, totally drained, or, just off, even when you've been to the doctor and they say everything looks fine? Well, believe it or not, this is an ancient problem. And the wisdom in this text tells us our bodies are sending us signals. Today, we're going to learn how to finally decode them.
All right, so the whole chapter is basically a conversation between the Yellow Emperor and his top doctor Chibo, and they're trying to get to the heart of what balance really means in the body. They boil it all down to two fundamental states, shu, which means deficiency, and shi, which means excess. Getting this concept is really the first step to everything else.
And boom, here it is. This one sentence from Chibo is the key that unlocks the entire thing. He says, when pathogenic factors are abundant, it is excess. When essential energy is depleted, it is deficiency. This single idea becomes the foundation for their whole system of diagnosis.
So, what does that actually mean for us? Let's break it down. Think of shi, or excess, like your body is being overwhelmed by invaders. The text calls these pathogenic factors, but you can think of them as things like too much stress or even bad weather. On the flip side, shu, or deficiency, is the exact opposite. It's like your internal battery is on 1%. Your body's own defense force, its essential energy, is just running on empty. So the big question is, how did doctors 2,000 years ago actually see these imbalances? I mean, they didn't have any of our modern technology. Well, they were absolute masters of observation. They looked for super-specific clues in the body's energy pathways, what we call the meridians, and especially in the pulse. Okay, this chart looks a little intense, but it breaks down a really cool diagnostic method from the text. So doctors would actually compare the pulse at the wrist to the temperature of the person's forearm. For instance, if the pulse felt hot and full, but the arm itself felt cold, that was a sign that the main energy channels were in excess, but the smaller connecting vessels were deficient. The opposite signs, of course, meant the reverse. And get this, the outlook for recovery for each condition actually changed depending on the season. How wild is that?
Okay, I hear you. Reading pulses and meridians feels a little bit complicated for everyday life, right? But what's great is that the Yellow Emperor basically asked the same thing. He wanted a simpler way to understand what was going on, and Chibo gave him a sign that is incredibly simple, something that any one of us can check, like, right now. And here it is, the simplest takeaway you can imagine. Chibo says that a favorable sign, meaning your body's energy is flowing just fine, is simply having warm hands and feet. An unfavorable sign, which suggests there's some kind of imbalance or blockage, you guessed it, cold hands and feet. It's really that direct. So yeah, this one simple observation is so important. The temperature of your hands and feet isn't just about whether you forgot your gloves. In this system, it's seen as a vital sign that reflects your entire internal climate and the real strength of your energy.
Now, this idea of an internal climate builds into something even bigger, because this text isn't just about diagnosing problems. It's really a roadmap for how to live in sync with the world around us, and specifically with the rhythm of the four seasons.
So, the text advises that our wellness strategy needs to change just like nature does. In the spring, the focus is on those main energy channels. Come summer, it shifts to specific acupoints. In the fall, the attention turns to the internal organs, and in winter, the goal is all about conservation, to close up and store your energy. They even recommended using fewer acupuncture treatments during this time.
And what's just incredible is how this ancient text speaks so directly to us now. It literally warns that for fat and noble people, things like rich foods can cause serious diseases. It also makes a direct link between conditions like blockages and poor circulation to sudden grief or anger. I mean, does any of that sound familiar?
So what's the bottom line for us today? How can we take this wisdom that's literally thousands of years old and actually apply it to our crazy modern lives?
Well, here are the 5 biggest takeaways. First, just start listening to your body. Are your hands and feet warm? Second, try to live a little more seasonally. Third, be mindful of overdoing it with rich foods. Fourth, really acknowledge that powerful link between intense emotions and your physical health. And finally, the most important one, embrace prevention. These are just small, consistent shifts in awareness, but they can make a world of difference. At the end of the day, the wisdom of the黄帝内经is really the most natural form of preventative medicine there is. You don't have to do it all at once. Just try one small thing. Pay attention to your body's temperature today. Maybe eat one more seasonal vegetable this week. It's all about a gentle guide to becoming a little bit healthier every single day.
If you're also looking for a gentler way to take care of yourself, this approach isn't about quick fixes. It's about walking a long, steady path toward well-being, one that brings you peace of mind.
Tonight, just let your body slowly quiet down. Please subscribe to the Medical Wisdom channel. Let's make sure that in our busy lives, we can set aside a little time for ourselves to heal both body and mind. Let's learn the wellness wisdom of our ancestors together.